coming to you from our studios at East Kenya Union Conference opposite Milimani Police Headquarters. This is the HCK News Magazine. My name is Samuel Mangi, but first, let us get to the headlines. In the wake of lives lost due to hunger, family and friends gathered together alongside Nairobi Advent Ensemble to channel their contribution to help curb the situation. Seeking to empower the youth in music and associations, 3 books are launched to help address the diverse yet unifying issues separately and extensively. In a digital migration era, how can the youth use this platform in ministry? And international news, to a population that dominates 29% out of 33.8% of people speaking Aramaic in the world, how well will the TMI wave penetrate Ethiopia? I do encourage you to tally with us into this news through interacting with us on social media platforms page. On Facebook is Hope Channel Kenya, and on Twitter is @Hope_Kenya. Now, with the drought hitting the country and many other parts of the world, the Nairobi Advent Ensemble visited Turkana County after they had collected some funds and some food donations which they took to the residents of Lokalalio. Following through the charity, which so very many families have hope, we join our reporter Melissa Gitao.
With just one act of kindness, you get to inspire many to plant their seeds of happiness through giving. Life becomes more beautiful when you share your blessings. The Nairobi Advent Ensemble members took the initiative and carried out a charitable giving following the hunger strikes that affected many in Turkana.
We heard about what was happening in Turkana, the drought, the starvation, and somebody came to us and told us, you guys need to do something. And so we were pushed by, Matthew 25. Yeah. I was hungry and you gave me something to eat. I was thirsty and you gave me something to drink. And so that became our motivator. And so despite our lack of resources, we realized that we have friends and people within our area of influence who we then approached to help us do something little for the people of Turkana.
We did it for 3 weeks, and in 3 weeks we were able to raise a total of 500,000.
And what are some of the things that you guys contributed to?
We took some maize flour, we did rice, green grams, we had sugar, we had some salt, and then we also had some cooking fat. When we got on the ground, ADRA had mobilized probably 4 or 5 villages, but an extra village came when they had those food distribution. So we had an extra 200 people who needed food that we didn't have.
Our future plans, which we call the phase 2 of the project, the first project we did was a short-term solution to whatever we were having, and that was providing food for them. The second phase is what we are trying to give it the name Hope for Turkana, and in the second phase what we are trying to do is drill boreholes for these people. And up above that, we want to invite partners who are interested to do this. We want to build a school there. We also want to build a hospital, and also want to have a church there.
How do you think people can get to help you guys with whatever you're doing, the publics per se?
Now, the type of support we may need mostly is financial, ideas, and I think just basically the machines that we could need to be able to build up whatever we are hoping to do in the future.
Well, you've had it for yourselves from the 1,000 voice for Turkana. And indeed, service to man is service to God. Reporting for HCK, I am Melissa Gitao.
Thank you so much, Melissa Gitao, for such an amazing story. And I guess this goes a long way to encourage us that we do not have to wait for the government to do everything, but we can do something for ourselves. Thank you so much, Nairobi Advent Ensemble, for such a powerful initiative. Now, with the rise of lifestyle diseases, it has forced many to go an extra mile to be able to adopt healthy living habits. Students from the Seventh-day Adventist Church of the University of Nairobi held a walk in Nairobi to help raise funds for cancer patients. Our reporter Jason Wekesa was on the ground, and he brings us this story.
This is the Nairobi Wellness Walk, a program of the Seventh-day Adventist Church from the University of Nairobi. Formed 3 years ago, Nawewa has been on the forefront to encourage youth, create awareness to the public on healthy living.
I'm Felix Akuku, the chairperson for Nairobi Wellness Walk, and this day is a great day because we are creating health awareness to the citizens of Nairobi, and we believe that preventive healthcare is the most significant way to go when it comes to health.
The university administration has commended the efforts of the youth, promising to support them.
The Nairobi Wellness Week is a very well thought out concept, because it actually tells people that it is good to exercise, even simply to walk, in order to keep physically fit. And as you have heard, the Nairobi Wellness Walk emphasizes living life to the fullest. And to me, when you are living life to the fullest, is that you are keeping fit and doing all the right things that somebody has to observe in order to avoid diseases or lifestyle problems in life. And therefore, I'm very happy that the SDA students have been able to come up with this in the university. And as I said, as the person in charge of student affairs, the next edition, next year, will really be much bigger, because as a university, we think we need to give this group the support, the resources they require in order to make this event much bigger than it is now, and that many people will be convinced and buy what this group stands for.
Due to previous testimonies from the previous editions, this year registered a higher turnout, majority of the participants coming from other universities and civilians, and they couldn't hide their joy.
Matembezi ya leo yameweza kuwa ya manufaa hasa sana kwangu. Mimi si mmoja wale ambao wanapenda kufanya mazoezi kila wakati, lakini ukipata fursa kama hii, ukiweza kujiingiza, kutangamana na marafiki pamoja na jamii, ili kuweza tu kufunza watu manufaa ya kuweza kuwa na afya bora, lishe bora na njia njema ya kuweza kuendesha maisha yako, ni jambo lingine zuri sana tena safi.
I'm Shalmith Dion from Cooperative University of Kenya. I was actually invited and I've heard of Nawewa Walk. I think this is the third time we are having this. It's just a health walk, and so some of us, it's good to be healthy actually, and that's why I decided to participate in the walk.
Kile ambacho nimeweza kutimiza ni katika afya yangu, naamini imekuwa muda mzuri wa kufanya mazoezi pia, na pia kujua kuwa hata pesa ambazo tumeweza kuchangisha they will go to do our ethicals. Yeah.
The work has been amazing and it has been a blessing. Yeah, I think this is the first time I've been involved in such a walk. Na naweza sema it's a good thing because you get to socialize with friends and you get to do something for a good cause.
This year's edition of the walk purposed to raise funds towards cancer patients, but participants had a privilege of free medical tests, big of it all free cancer screening. Reporting for Hope Channel Kenya, Amwekesa Jason.
The East Kenya Union Conference Youth Department launched a senior youth leader book as the music department launched the music ministry in the local church book. At the same time, the church through the Home Health Education Services launched a book of the year that is Hope for Today Families, written by Mr. and Mrs. Oliver. Marceline Odero followed through these launches, and this is what she has for us.
Pastor Paul Chepkwony, who is the leader of Music and Youth Ministries Department in East Kenya Union Conference, launched the two books, Senior Youth Leader and Music Ministries in the local church at Shaurimoyo SDA in Nairobi.
We are addressing issues affecting young people, especially the ambassadors and young adults. We didn't have a curriculum like this for the senior youth. We had only for the junior youth in the name of Master Guide. Now we want to address issues affecting young people in the local church, especially the ambassadors and young adults, to be leaders. We encourage men, we encourage women, we encourage young people to enroll and know how to lead young people to Christ. We have also developed for the music, because music is part of the youth ministry. As much as it is part of the church, we have developed a manual, a guideline to guide singing in the local church.
Alongside that, the church, through Home Health Education Services Department, launched the Book of the Year, Hope for Today's Family.
Every year we have a missionary book of the year. This is to aid us in missionary work. And the year 2019, they have chosen from General Conference the book Hope for Today's Families. The reason being that we have many challenges in our families, and the author has given solutions to these problems.
The book, authored by couple Willie and Elaine Olive, is aimed at creating, building, and maintaining strong relationship within the family and with the people around you.
And therefore, we advise every church member to at least get 5 copies, give out 4, and remain with 1 copy for mission this year 2019.
The book Senior Youth Leader and Music Ministries in the Local Church can be found nationwide in the Seventh-day Adventist Conference. The Book of the Year, Hope for Today's Family, is stocked in all the Seventh-day Adventist book centers. Reporting for Hope Channel, I'm Maslin Odero.
Alongside economical and digital consumption growth, Ethiopia is now experiencing a new wave which seeks to impact and encourage spiritual growth. Just as Nando traveled all the way to Ethiopia, and this is what he has for us.
We are here in Ethiopia, the second most populous nation in Africa, with more than 100 million people. Currently, Ethiopia is experiencing rapid economic growth. Everywhere you go, at least here in the capital city, Addis, you see a new building coming up, massive construction. But away from the economic growth, there's a new wave that is sweeping this territory, and this is TMI, Total Member Involvement, an evangelistic initiative by the Seventh-day Adventist Church. God is doing great things in this vast territory of Ethiopia through this TMI program. In the first week alone, we saw over 7,000 people give their lives to Christ through baptism. Each TMI site has provided unique opportunities for evangelism. Many local and international speakers and evangelists are here to share the love of Christ with the people of Ethiopia.
Total member involvement means everybody must use his gift which God has given him to nourish the church and also to help him to share the gospel message.
Actually, what we are doing in TMI is to remind people the same old way, the God's way of doing evangelism. If you look at like the book of John 4, the Samaritan woman, just an ordinary woman, she's not a theologian, but she knows something about Jesus. And the moment she accepts Jesus, she is also made ready to go and call others for the kingdom. And that's what total member involvement is all about. Because there are people who do not even know how to read the word. But when you mingle with them and you win their confidence, if they are building, if they are harvesting, you join them. And then later on, they come and follow the Lord Jesus.
I think this initiative is a very good one because it is involving the pastors and the lay members. And everybody is serving with his talent, whatever he can do. Some can serve with health evangelists. For example, in my team that has come, we have some health educators that are giving lectures here in health issues and also healing the people with natural remedies. This is what their talent is, and they are willing to serve in this task. Everybody somehow is getting together to have and fulfill the same purpose. This is why I believe that TMI is very important, because whatever background you're coming, you still can get involved into this program and be a blessing for that area.
I'm Dr. Achamile Halabacho. I have been coordinating the health team, providing health expo service at the Total Member Involvement Conference. Our objective is to provide awareness to the community to plan better health for themselves and provide advice and counseling on what they should do whenever they have certain diagnosis. So on the way, we show the love of God by providing this health service. So far, we have provided the health expo service for around 656 beneficiaries. I have seen a good number of them coming repeatedly and telling us they have improved a lot since the time they have received our services.
As the leader of Children Ministries Department, for the first time here in Ethiopia, we are having the children involvement in evangelism. When you allow children to come closer to God, to listen to the word of God, it changes them, it transforms them. But also, we have been out to share the love of God through different activities. We have sponsored young people who are struggling to pay their school fees because they don't have people to help them. So they have seen the hands of God. So far, we have been hands of God to those people. Children have shared food with those who do not have, and they have seen Jesus in their lives.
It is important that our Ethiopia Union take time to really nurture our children, because many of the children in some of the other sites have also responded to the wonderful gospel. So we hope that our leadership will really put priority on children as we nurture them in their growth of faith, so that as they grow, they become stronger and they will be the leaders and members of our church.
The total members' involvement means a lot for us, because most of our members needed to participate, because without their participation it is very difficult to reach the people. The general population of Ethiopia is about 110 million, whereas our church membership is 184,000, and the growth of the general population is much faster than the growth of our church. The first baptism was last Saturday, last Sabbath. We had 7,158 baptisms, and most of the baptisms will be conducted the second week, and that will be the final, and we are expecting to have more than 20,000. The number seems less, but for us in Ethiopia, having 20,000 or more within 2 weeks is something great. It's a miracle for us.
I am so happy and excited to see TMI is going on in our field. This is the right time that God brought us to involve all church members in this evangelistic work. So in this work, I able to witness that all our church members actively involved by giving their time, by giving their money, by giving their efforts, even their knowledge and other properties, all that needed for the church service.
The work has just begun. Let those who have been won to the kingdom be encouraged and be trained to be soul winners.
So I'm calling every church member to take his time, use his talent, gifts which God has given him to share the gospel message.
We take a short break here at the HTK News Magazine, but we'll be back with more. An estimated 4.2 billion out of 7.7 billion people in the world are active online users, or rather are internet consumers. Now, what does this mean to ministry? Can this avenue be used to further the gospel? We follow through with our reporter Robert Mose to tell us more on the prospects at which the digital space opens for ministry.
In a generation where the world has been centralized to behave like one small village thanks to digital space, does evangelism have a chance in this space, or is it going to be used strongly with the devil's camp? Many having had reservation, can this avenue reach many and even bring them to Christ? It may be perceived as a Western advancement to some, but point to note, according to Africa News, in a population of 7.7 billion, in a world of 4.2 billion use of internet, and 2.9 billion are active users on social media platforms.
Digital evangelism is the most important, most effective medium in which we can reach the unreachables at this stage. Everybody has a cell phone in their pocket. Their Bibles might be on their pedestals next to their beds, but their cell phones are on their bodies. In other words, the way that we reach people is through their cell phones, and there's no better way than to evangelize than to actually use the cell phones. This means that we are able to reach people in an immediate basis. This also gives the person to listen to the studies on his own platform of preference. It also means that he's got the time and the ability to stop and carry on with the studies tomorrow. He can listen in his own time, whenever it suits him. This is not an organized evangelistic campaign that costs a fortune. This only costs a little bit of data to send out to 256 people on a group, and then each individual receives it individually. They're not part of a disturbing group, they receive it individually. They then study with their own Bible, they go through the lesson, and a week later they receive lesson number 2, a week later lesson number 3, etc., etc. So in other words, this gives the people the freedom to use their own time and in their own pace to actually do the Bible study in a very organized, systematic way that the studies were broadcast and the way that he receives it.
With such perspective, what then could be the challenge and how can it sort at the local level?
On the button of leadership, and so young people need to work very close to the elders, ready to listen, ready to learn. And so when we go with this model of Elijah, Elisha, of Moses, Joshua, then we'll get a good quality of young people. So what we are doing now is the training. We do training everywhere we go. We do training to bring this concept in its balanced way, talking to pastors, talking to elders, talking to young people, and it's an ongoing program that is going on, and we believe that it will bear good fruits. It is bearing good fruits.
Yes, we have been having challenges, especially considering many of the young people are school leavers. And most of them are engaging themselves in looking for jobs and also in studies, and getting them in the local churches mainly has been a problem. But now we have come up with a program whereby we reach young people wherever they are, when they are in colleges or universities, when they are in their local churches or wherever in their jobs. We want to reach them so that they know when ministry is not only in the local church, it is wherever they are. We are now implementing a program whereby we want every young person, wherever he or she is, engage himself or herself with ministry by reaching out to people around them, regardless of the challenges facing the society now, like unemployment.
It has come a time where we cannot afford to bury our heads against the technological advancement, especially in a digital space. It is a call for not only the youth to embrace digital evangelism, but also the church. Robert Mose, Hope Channel Kenya, Nairobi.
1 year since it was formed, Friends of Identity have embarked on several charity events. This group had a privilege to interact with kids from Motherly Care Children's Home all the way from Rai in Nairobi, and this is what transpired.
A team of 28 zealous youth, Friends of the Identity, a local program for the youth on Hope Channel Kenya, made way to the Motherly Care Children's Home in Rai, Nairobi, with an aim to spread a cheer to the needy.
Over years, we know how children have suffered, and more especially more especially, the children are not taken care properly, especially orphans. There is so much molested. And the greatest percentage of children who are molested are the ones who are, raped.
This group, made up of campus students and youth from different churches, contributed towards supporting the well-being of the children by making a donation of foodstuffs, among others.
Spreading a cheer for today was basically under street mission. Part of street mission is reaching out to the destitute kids, to destitute individuals. Sadly enough, it's not just kids who are in need, but also adults and elderly people who need our love and care out here.
If you identify a child who is suffering, call our number quickly, and then we can save that child, and that child can come to home and will be taken care of.
With the challenge on how the youth can be involved in ministry with their different abilities and interests, Friends of the Identity lead on the way to encourage fellow youth to partake, for there is work for them, not only in their local churches, but in the large community.
I'm appealing to every person, wherever one is, either working, either living. If you see a child who is suffering, kindly save these children. We're at least doing something.
We're doing this to impact in a life.
Reporting for Hope Channel Kenya, I am Mwekesa Jason.
Unaona ndio wale pale wanajiandaa kweli kabisa, wanajiandaa kweli. Unaona kuna chembe cha waru, cha waru.
Hope TV. Hapo kwenye kazi hapo sawa? Jina ni. Haya, on your mark. Set. Go.
This year's Pastor Symposium happened in April at Moi Forces Academy in Nakuru. The conference, which aimed to empower pastors in the pastoral ministry, impacted ministers through one-to-one testimonies and various presentations. Our reporter Nzomo Mikali has this for us.
A gathering of more than 2,000 pastors from the East Kenya Union conferences attended a pastor symposium in Moi Forces Academy in Nakuru with the aim of taking a break from their daily pastoral duties to socialize and get encouragement in their work. This symposium, which ran from the 9th of April to the 13th of April this year. The theme of the symposium was Saved by Grace, a solution to the Laodicean problem.
I'm appealing to you, pastors, adopt the grace attitude. Define yourself that I am whom I am by the grace of God. This attitude must be found in pastors first, then to the members.
We should conduct ourselves in such a way so that this ministry may not be put to shame. Remember that we have a ministry which we have been given by God, and we are required to keep it holy as it is for His name's sake.
The guest speaker, Pastor Kelvin Ononga from Nigeria and Associate Professor of Missions at the Adventist University of Africa, graced the occasion with encouraging presentations.
You know, I must never forget God's grace upon our lives. It is grace that has preserved our lives. It is grace that has protected us. It is grace that has provided for us. It is grace that has promoted us.
These were some of the sentiments of the pastors who attended the Pastor Symposium in Nakuru.
Tumejua mambo mengi ambayo tunahusiana kufanya kazi ya Mungu na vile ambavyo pia kanisa linasimamia ama linachukua jukumu la kutunza wachungaji katika kanisa.
The experience that he is telling us about God and His grace has touched me, and I believe it will change my life and even the way I will serve in the ministry.
Moi Forces Academy principal had this to say.
If the Israelites know that Sabbath is on Saturday, who are we to say it is the other way round?
As much as you want to invest in many things,
make sure you invest on you.
Brothers and sisters, let us work very hard as we prepare not only for the symposium, but from bringing many souls to the truth that we have.
The Pastor Symposium conference happens at least once a quinquennium within different conferences and unions in the world church. Reporting for Hope Channel Kenya, I am Zamomwikali.
The president of East Kenya Union Conference, Pastor Samuel Makori, led 28 pastors through their ordination, which gave them the power to exercise their full pastoral mandate. Reporting more on this is our reporter, Savius Abraka.
The 2019 pastor's ordination took place between 12th January and 23rd March at the Central Kenya Conference headquarters in Karura. The 6-day event that was organized by the East Kenya Union saw 28 pastors ordained into acquiring the all pastoral powers.
Na wale ambao tuna ordain siku ya leo pia tunawapa nafasi ya kuendelea kuhudumu. Na mtasikiza viapo vile tutawapa leo ni very serious. Na kwa hivyo tukisha kuapisha hivyo na waendelee na kazi, hata ukiwalenga na kidole ni lazima uwe very careful. Maana tayari wametengwa wakfu, wamewekwa wakfu na wamekuwa mali ya nani? In a special way ya Mungu.
The East Kenya Union Conference President, Pastor Samuel Makori, who led the ceremony, emphasized on the key message, ordained for the gospel ministry, and urged the pastors to widely preach the gospel so as to bring more people to Christ. Hundreds of faithful graced the occasion even as others were actively involved by coloring the ordination in all kinds of manner. Reporting for HCK News Magazine, I'm Abraka Savior.
On the 19th to the 22nd of April, there was a music extravaganza which was held at Seventh-day Adventist Church, Karura. This event covered choirs from the coastal region, central Nairobi, and South Nyanza region. It was an amazing event as over 150 choirs participated in singing common set piece, and they also had a privilege to sing some of their own compositions. Our reporter Jerusalem Nyaboke tells us more.
As it is written in the Holy Book of Psalms, sing a new song to the Lord and play with scales with a shout of joy.
In that summer land of beyond that is a place prepared for all who are trusting in the Savior, who will listen to his call.
East Kenya Union Conference organized a music extravaganza that took place at Karura SDA Church from 19th to 22nd April. Choirs from Mombasa, Nairobi, Nyanza region, and also Central were fully represented. Thousands of Adventists congregated at Karura SDA Church to showcase their talent in singing. The choir sang a common set piece from the Swahili hymnal number 163, Pengine ni Saa, and other songs of their own choice and composition. The core purpose of the music extravaganza was to shape, put in place policies in singing, instill professionalism, and transform the Adventist music.
And also to put in place policies and guidelines that guide the local church singing. Again, secondly, we are organizing this event so that choirs can learn from one another. We want to instill professionalism and more so Christian music. We want to bring about Christian standard when it comes to singing.
He states the challenges they faced is song on composition, organization, and accommodation.
Most choirs, for example, are from local churches. but we can find elements in some choirs whereby they throw members from various churches. So we want to encourage all these singers to subscribe to one particular congregation.
They were able to note a great improvement in the choirs from last year. The pastor also encourages choir from other denominations to come, watch, and also learn. Martin Olo, who is a trainer at Mathare North Church, shows his satisfaction in the 2019 music fair at Karura and acknowledges the positive improvement in the event.
I can say from the experience that I had there, and having attended the other fairs in Nakuru in 2018, I can say really attest to the fact that there was much improvement in this year's festivals. I think the choirs have improved a lot.
He also challenges the teachers to explain details to the choirs and work together to achieve more.
The whole occasion was just marvelous. It was awesome. And I felt challenged. I felt challenged as a trainer. From my fellow trainers, I felt that I need to improve on some areas, which I really do.
Reporting for Hope Channel Kenya, I'm Jerusa Nyaboke.
And behold, I come quickly.
That story brings us to the end of today's news. I have been your news anchor, Samuel Mangi. Remember, we'll be coming to you again at the end of this month. But until then, stay safe, stay blessed.